Private public. Okay, maybe this worked. Why is it saying it's private? Hey, Gunner. Why is it saying it's private? Um, hey, Dan. Guess you guys all got the notification, but for some reason it's telling me that my stream, oh, it's private, public, save. Okay, that was weird. All you guys are notification squads. That's why you guys gotta got that. Hey, Aaron. Yeah, somehow I published my stream as private on Okay, now I'm gonna check YouTube Studio real quick for 1 second. Videos. The also was public, the live ones. That was really weird. Okay. Super weird. Super duper weird, but that's okay. All right, so mail came in, and I got the heated bed for the BLV MGN Cube. Happy day. Super stoked to finally get this thing sorted out. So what I have to do first is I need to get the bed drilled. So what I did is I just clipped on the silicone heated pad here, got it centered and straight, pretty close. It's, for some reason I had to make it 340 by 340 instead of 342 by 342, which is what the plate is. This is a custom-made piece of tooling aluminum, so it is extremely flat, as that's what it's made to be for, and it is 6 millimeters thick. So it's going to be quite the beast to heat, I think, but we're going to be super flat, which is really what we want. And from talking to a bunch of people, that having it this way is good. And because when I add on the magnetic pad, it should be okay. Jesse, my dude, look also what I got today. Hang on a second. I got a little care package from Mr. Jesse Foreman. And I have right here a 713 Maker heated bed plate, which is super, super awesome. And here on the back, it has a cutout for a 300 millimeter silicone heat pad. Very cool, very cool. So I think I'm gonna end up doing is I need to get some of that 3M double-sided just the sticky stuff put in here, and then put my 12-volt heated bed in here, and this will become the new FT5 heated plate. So big thank you out to him, big props out to him. This is amazing that he would send this out to me, because this is like a $65 bed. And he also sent me, because he didn't use it, his original FT5 R2 24-volt bed. So I have an extra 300 millimeter 24-volt bed that is a 3 mil aluminum PCB bed. So that is fantastic, and thank you, Jesse, for that. So super stoked to have this, and I think again this end up will be the home on the FT5. If I didn't already buy a custom size plate for the BLV, this would have went on there, 100%. Yeah, okay, so I also got my chamfer bit came in. Well, chamfer, what do you end up calling this? A Oh my God, I can't remember the word now. Anyways, yeah, I got this in too so that we can countersink bit. That's it. Got my countersink bit in so that we can do this. We're using M4s. So I already knocked and punched these holes. So we're just gonna YOLO it, see how it goes. Yeah, I want to get something else on here under the thing so I don't drill into my table. Got a couple rolls. Tape's not the same size. Oh, but this tape is. 3 rolls of this. This will do. There we go. Drinking my snack out of the way. This. Now we're doing M4, so we need a 4mm bit. I don't have a drill press, so we're just gonna do our best to keep this nice and level. Try to get in there nice and straight, and kind of just go from there. But yeah, we're gonna go slow and steady. We'll probably get a little bit of oil here, just in case. I don't know how hard this is. See what happens. I'm gonna mute you guys for a second. I'll drill the first hole and see what happens. That was easy enough. It didn't take too much at all. Shoot. I forgot to go grab more shop towels from the basement. That will be alright. Let's just not get this everywhere. Ouch. That definitely went my finger. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea to do without shop towels or something. Ooh. Eduardo, what's up? It would be one. Ah. I didn't mute for that one. The drill press fund. Thank you, Jim. The problem is I used to have a drill press and I actually sold it at our last place because it just weighs too much and I move a lot, and moving a lot means that I have to ship everything place to place. And when I do that, it's based on weight. And a drill press is just too much. What I really want is one of those stands that you can like mount your drill in and go down. So I think that would be a just one. You know what they are? It's got like the circle on the bottom. Your drill like attaches to it, and then you go down and make sure that you're straight. I want one of those. I had a real cheap one years ago, but I think it broke when I moved one time, or I was using it and it broke. Really, really cheap one. But that definitely would be what I want to get. I will need to go down and get a rag here in a minute. Let me mute that. Sorry, it might be Yeah, but printing one would require forethought, and you know how good I am with that. Oh, little shards of aluminum. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Get out of my finger. I'm just prone to injury this weekend. We grilled out yesterday for Labor Day, and I made ribs, and I dropped one on the bottom rack, which I didn't want to do. Just cook them on the top rack, slow cook them. And I like grabbed the rib, put my hand down to hold the aluminum foil down onto the like 900-degree hot thing and burnt the heck out of the tip of my finger. So yeah, definitely had a boo-boo this weekend. This one here. I feel like I do pretty good without it. I have my brush over here. That would help out a bunch. I'd like to think my dad taught me well on how to drill straight hole. That went everywhere. Yeah. What other video are you talking about, Aaron? Eduardo, thank you, my man. Look at that. We'll get some kind of drill press. Everybody pitches in $5. Yeah, so there's that. I might go get a vacuum for the countersink part. I feel like that's going to make a bit of a mess. This away. Just grab the M4 bolt. Make sure this fits. Yep, like a glove. This is a brand new bit. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I guess we'll find out here real soon. Yeah, all right, let me pause real quick. I'm going to grab a little vacuum and some shop towels. I'll be right back. Hey, Keith, saw you join there. All right, well, let's see how this works, I guess. Not too bad. Everything burns around you. Keith, where's that? California? You guys get fires out there again? Never any fun. I didn't mute for that. Sorry. Yeah, I've been seeing people talking about the different fires. I'm gonna draw another one here. It's pretty close then. A little bit of this tack so I can really ensure that I got these bolts flush, which I think I'm pretty close on all of them. Okay. Bolt again. Flush. This one might need just a skosh more. It's really good. This one here just needs a little bit. Literally just a touch. Nice. Easy day. All right, so the other thing that I was not thrilled about is with this bed, I'm gonna have to use. I need to find some washers to use with these because they didn't cut the holes quite as big as I was hoping they were going to. This was a custom made one from a vendor on AliExpress. I sent him my schematic on the size I wanted. I didn't specify the hole size. I should have told me a little bit bigger because I would like the screws to rest on the plate and not on the silicone pad. But I mean, I also really don't need. I probably shouldn't be using springs. For now, I am because I'm definitely going to. I mean, this has ABL on it. I probably should use solid mounts, but I'll approach that later because what I'll do is I'll get some. Maybe I'll print some out of ABS and then be able to sand them all down to be completely flat, or I'll buy some silicone spacers for it, maybe. But for now, we're just going to use some appropriately sized washers to help us ensure that this stays in the center. I kind of want to use these great big suckers because they'll really spread out the weight. The other thing, I don't want to tear through the silicone pad. There's 1, 2, 3. These are some heavy duty ones. You should be able to do it. Probably about a mil thick at least. I could do it in polycarbonate. Again, I could also do an ABS. The one thing that I forget who I was talking to, might have been Aaron. The nice thing about printing the bed mounts in ABS is that you can then like kind of get all 4 of them, attach them together, and then just sand them all down so you have a perfectly level what's it called? I know some 9mm aluminum ones. I have some aluminum ones. Let me see how big they are. Standby one. I do have some spacers here. Where are they at? They are behind the set screws. I do have some decent sized ones. Hang on here. How big are these ones? Where's my calipers? I do have these. 12 mil, okay? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those 12mm ones. I do have some smaller ones here. I believe these are 6 mils. We have some 8s. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8mm. So what is it? 8mm or 12.5mm? Which should we go with? Interesting. That will work. Keith, for right now, I'm not because I already used the one. So this is the BLV bed that comes with it. It's got this funky connector here, as you can see. I tried putting in from the bottom. I drilled it out and did that there. It kind of worked, but then I shorted it. So I put it back up there. The bed is really not functional at all. But I did use a piece of the insulation stuff on here. I guess I should look to get another piece to put on there, but that'll be a later date. Well, here's what I'm thinking though. So I printed out some knobs for it, and I modified them a little bit to work a little bit better. These are the knobs that I printed for it, and they've got that space there. And that's just enough to clear the printed parts, but I have these ones which are way nicer, and the printed ones I'm not very happy out of PETG. I do have these injection molded knobs that I got in. I bought a whole bunch of them just for random projects. These ones are M4, so they fit on there. Now the question is, with a spacer, will they reach? The answer is no. Need longer spacers on the bottom. Let's don't do that. It stays out. So maybe I'll go with these taller spacers. Shoot, where'd that other one go? Maybe I have these. I have one. I had four more. That would be spectacular. These fit is the question now. You guys will see this all in a minute. Oh, that just barely fits. But I think with a washer, it'll work out. So we'll use these. So instead of using the printed ones that I have, we'll use those. So I'm going to use these longer ones under the bed and these ones for the knobs down below. So that being said, let's put this away. Move those, we'll use these. We just need to peel this off then. Now we're going to need to put the screws in. Now we'll put this taller one here. But first we're going to prep this surface for the magnetic sheet, which is under here. I'll show you guys the magnetic bed I'm going to use for this. So this is a custom one made by, what is it, Ergonomic or Ergonomic, whatever they're called. They like if you look up spring steel sheet, this shop is going to come up. And he made me a custom one, which I asked for, and that is a smooth PEI on one side, a textured PEI on the other side. I'm not 100% happy with the textured side. I feel like it's going to come off, but we'll find out. I mean, it was like 60 bucks for him to dual side it. I had to buy a 350 millimeter one, and then he cut it down to size, and that is the exact same size as my my plate here. So that'll be good. I look not to adjust the bed. Okay, so I'm going to get some. We're going to use some of this, and then where's my little thing of? I guess I should use acetone. Be better than IPA, right? Yes, I guess I'll use a little bit of acetone to just ensure that I get everything off. Then I can clean it with some IPA after that, I guess. I just want to be sure that I get this thing really, really cleaned off. Definitely. Oh, maybe I should deburr it actually first. Yeah, there's definitely some burrs on the edge here. So let's get out the deburring tool. Close this up. This isn't really like straight acetone. It's like the nail polish acetone. It's just high in acetone though. I don't have straight acetone. It's illegal here, so oh well. And then let's try and deburr some of these corners here. That's doing a pretty crummy job of it. Let's take great file. Mute you guys for a second. Let me see if I can just take a quick needle file to this and get that edge off. That was easy enough. Indeed, this is a 6mm plate, and I ordered from, I think I linked it in a previous video. I will make sure to link it later in this video down below. Keith, that was not finished. I was just using the nail polish remover, acetone stuff, just to get any of the gunk, and then I'm gonna use the IPA to give it a quick cleaning, because I just have a little bit of that left, unless I have some downstairs somewhere. But yeah, I just want to, yeah, I mean, it does leave something to be desired there. But yeah, let me get this, let me get a little bit more on this time, and then we'll use the IPA. I thought about using just the window cleaner, but this stuff should be enough. I can definitely see a little bit of gunk on the edges from where this was cut, and the plastic kind of melted to it a little bit. That's kind of what this is for here. But this tooling plate was cheap. This was only, I believe, $35 for a custom cut sheet. I mean, you set whatever size you want it cut to, they will do it for you. So I was like, well, that's pretty awesome. So we're gonna put in our bolts here. We use a little bit of IPA just to make sure everything is clean. Yeah, that did it right there. Now that is a nice clean sheet. Okay, so now let's get this here. Let's just make sure that these match up. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yep. Okay. Now applying this is super easy. I'm going to be very careful because it is so big and thick. It will go down without issue. Actually suck. A little bit bigger than what my plate is. That's okay. Got no air bubbles in there. All right, that's good. So now I just need to cut that off real quick. Get a sharp knife. Yeah. English is escaping me today. Wish I could use those scalpels. I need to make a scalpel holder. I know I'm cutting towards myself. I'm being careful. Like rule number one of the Boy Scouts. I know. easier for me to control that way. Cut myself so many times in the Boy Scouts. It was not because of pulling towards myself. I can say that much at least. So now we're good on all the corners there. Our magnetic sheet. Okay, so now the underside, I'll do the same cleaning treatment. I guess I probably should have did this side first. That probably would have made more sense, wouldn't it have? Because now I got to fight with the bolts. Whoops. So if you're doing this and you're watching this video and later date, do the heated pad first. Because I don't really plan ahead very often. Kind of just go with whatever feels right to me at the time. I guess we can just go ahead and IPA this. Where'd that? Enough here? Yeah. Hey, that's nice and clean. I know, Brandon, I know. I use way more dangerous things than a knife. I'm all right. Okay, so then this is just going to slide down over our 4 things there and attach. So hopefully I can, we're just going to have to go full ham with this one. Four bolts. Here. Here. Come on. Right there. They stuck on silicone heated pad. Bubbles in it. Now, oh, for those in question, I didn't really say, I've been waiting this forever. This is a 24-volt silicone heat pad. I am not a advocate of AC heated beds for multitude of reasons. Number one being I travel way too much to dedicate 110 or 220. But also, I do not feel that normal people should be messing with mains power. Yes, I am doing a custom 3D printer here, but I just don't advocate people messing with mains power. So that's just my opinion on it. Do with that as you wish. So one thing that came up in the Discord today, which I'd never heard about, is there's like a little, it's like a thermal fuse basically that you would put on your heated bed wires here. And that basically makes it so that if the bed somehow goes above a desired temperature, you can buy them for any one. Everyone says pretty much to 140. So if the bed, for some reason, goes above 140 degrees centigrade, this fuse pops and then kills power to the bed. So it's like another safety for thermal runaway, because thermal runaway can be defeated with issues. Thermal fuse, that's, yeah. So I just learned about those today. I don't know if I'm going to actually put one on here or not. I've never used one before. That might have saved Megatron's bed a few weeks back whenever that kind of died on me. So I know we'll kind of see what happens with that. Well, right now we need to do a little bit of a pause while I get this cleared off, and we're going to BLV. We'll bring him up onto the bed, and then you guys can see them. So I have some in my cart. You get 50 for like $7. Like it's like nothing. So I will look into that here soon. This is my parts bin. I'm gonna need all of these springs. And we'll just do that for now. This goes over here. Oh, I did also what came in. I did get my LED rings. So I actually got 2 orders because the one order got lost. And I don't know if they just double shipped me a new order or if my original order that I ordered back in March finally came, or if they just sent it twice. They both came today in 2 different packages. So I'm not sure what happened with that. But hey, we do have the RGB addressable LEDs for the rings in the front of the BLV. So that's cool. I did also get a care package from Mr. Aaron. So I'm going to do a video on tools, and this is like his #1 suggested thing. Mine is the Weehaw set, but for him, it is these much larger, I'll call these man-sized Allen wrenches, not ball heads, but just straight up Allen wrenches, or hex drivers, we should call them. So got those, and then he went ahead and sent me a pair of lineman pliers because everyone kept yelling at me for not being able to cut the M3 bolts when I was doing Megatron and the Bear. I was struggling with it. I ended up getting out the Dremel to do it. Well, now I have an official set of these are the Irwin lineman pliers, which I tried today. They work like a champ. So big shout out to Aaron for hooking me up with some extra tools in the office. Oh, Jesus. The next thing I need to get is some type of um, drill press, according to everybody here. So that'll be on an upcoming thing, I guess. I'll have to make that work out. I need to sweep up all these aluminum bits right there. If I kick that over one more time, I swear, I think I'd stop putting things in front of my feet. 1 second. So the one question out there, do you guys think is there any problem with me pinching the silicone bed, or should I still go ahead and use a couple of these big old washers just to even out the spread of these spacers onto the bed? I don't know if there's any issues with pinching part of the silicone pad. I'd rather not find out a bad way. So if you all say no biggie whatsoever, then I'll trust you on it. But if there is reason to concern, I will use those washers just again to spread out that surface area. All right, now picking this up is going to be an absolute B. Give me a second here. Come on. Come on, go on the table. Okay. We're on the table. Oh my god, this thing is so heavy. Okay. So here's the BLV back. I do have a thermal camera I could use. That's a very observant thing to do. Maybe I should do that first. Let's get this thing right here for the moment. And then we got to get some ferrules on here. And we need to get a connector on the thermistor. So we need to take care of that business first. And this wire is thick with 4 C's. Holy cow, this is thick, thick wire. Okay, so do have my ferrules here. Don't have my ferrule crimper though out. Let me get the crimper. Smaller than that. That might not even fit. Yeah, this wire is a beefy boy. Black fits. All right, we can use black then. Where'd I put those? Set them in front of my face. I still don't know where they put them. Okay, there's one. This is going on SKR 1.3, so the thermistor is just using a JST, which I'm gonna just steal it from the old bed harness. Which for the thermistor is using these massive, massive wires. Don't know why they did that. A thermistor does not need to have freaking 12 gauge wires for it. Because they're the same thickness as the bed actually is, the bed conductors, which has 4 conductors for that one. Come on. There we go. I do need my JST kit. Sorry, 1 second. Which is up here. They're just gigantic, man. Absolutely gigantic. We need the connector, we need some pins, we need crimper. Before I knock them over. I have done that before. It sucks. It's back a little bit. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'm gonna leave this facing up. I'm gonna get all these things connected. We'll connect it to the printer, and then we'll go ahead and fire it up and see what the conductors look like in it. Get off me. It's tease with a passion. One down. Come on. Okay. Thrilling YouTube. Watching somebody poorly terminate cables. I do say poorly. Definitely the hardest ones to do. Duplicates are pretty easy. They're agreeable. They don't fight you as much. Oh, that didn't work. That just broke right off. That's awesome sauce. Retip this one. Like these. So surprisingly, actually, there's been quite a few people that reached out to me that they are working on this same project, which is really cool because, again, I picked it as many people are working on it. That's gone. I mean, I like the project. I didn't do it just because no one else was working on it, but that was also kind of a bit of a challenge as well. That it's not as much known about it. That's gone. Let's watch Shane drop things and lose them into his floor. I'll find it 2 days from now. Yep. Like that. There we go. Stay. Like that. Like that. See if it goes in this time. Without breaking. All right, we're in. Think. No, we're not. Clicking into place. Why aren't we clicking into place? A little tangled here. Get untangled. Okay. Into place. Tab out a little bit. Maybe I crushed the tab. Click. Very good. Okay. So this is not long enough to do that way, I don't think. I think so. So we're gonna do this way. Around the side here. Without breaking the cables, please. Thank you. Maybe. Okay, so we'll put our thermistor in, which goes right here. Here, and then heated bed. These are flatheads. I need a wee flathead now. Ooh. I'm not very good at crimping. The old, the new. It's gonna take 1 second to get these in here. I can't get over how beefy these wires are for 24 volts. I mean, geez Louise. Well, it's always good. I mean, thicker wires can carry amperage easier. Let's get it. But that's just a little shocking. All right, let's see what happens. Cat didn't pull the connectors out. That's good sign so far. All right, sees the bed. So let's do temperature, bed. We're just going to go to 60. See what happens. The thermal camera here. It looks like there's no right here, this part of it. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys here. So it looks like right here, there's nothing. I can kind of see the traces. Anything there? I mean, it is really close on this inside. Not that close though, but I can definitely see some of the traces as I change my angle here. Yeah, so I guess it's pretty good all the way around. I got a pretty even heat. You can see that. Yeah, it is heating up pretty evenly. Bottom side's getting warm, so we're 42 up there, which is what the thermistor says. We are 34 underneath, so it's 10-degree difference right now until we get equilibrium. So let's just give that a second to heat up, and then we'll see what it goes to. Again, I don't need speed in these. Indy, I'm not really worried about that yet. I'm more worried about where the traces are, so that I know that when I go ahead and put down these aluminum spacers, and they're going to pinch this silicone, I want to ensure that there's no traces nearby. But if I do this, put this big washer down, and then this, that spreads out that force around it. I still might go this route just because I'm paranoid as all get out, and kind of go from there. And that bottom's getting warm. So we're at 48 and 38. So right now, 10-degree difference still. Well, Jesse, you said on the nose there, man. I also, again, when you're building something that's like literally fully custom, like this is a kit kind of like where forget the name of the company, Sun Labs or whatever it is, just basically cut the aluminum down for you and give you some of the parts. But I sourced a lot of these parts myself. They're not what came from the company. But I also did do some custom parts. I haven't shown any of this in the back yet, on how I did the plexi back here. I do have a fan. I had an extra, what is this, a 9? What size is this fan? I don't know what size this fan is, but I had an extra 120 volt fan. It's actually an LED fan that says the temperature, it's 77 degrees, and it says Test 3D printing on it. As it spins, it's one of those old school case fans. I think this is an 80 or 92 millimeter fan. But anyways, that's blowing directly up onto the SKR. It's coming from the 12. It's all right. It's 12 volt because I have that running off of the. I have a buck here to adapt for that because I also put a 12 volt fan in the front here, and I have the buck running that as well. So basically, whenever something is heating up, that turns on, which turns that fan on, and it works. All right, so it says we're at 53. 54, I'm seeing 57. It's about right where the thermistor is. It's about right. 54, 56 there. We are, it's still a 10-degree difference right now. Because this thing just has to heat soak. Oh, that is toasty though. This thing hasn't moved in like 3 weeks. It's a little dusty. I haven't done anything with it in a couple weeks. I'm not worried about the traces anymore. I totally see what you mean there, Aaron. The traces are actually kind of sloppy in there, which is very interesting. I thought they would be a little more precise, but they're not. We're at 50 on the bottom. We're at 57 here, just getting to almost 60 now. It's pretty good. Pretty good, I think. Well, let's turn this off now. So we know that's all right. I am going to use the washers just because I just want to be safe about it. So we're just going to reset this. So the big thing I need to do is, before any of that happens, we need to power this off. I did put a nice big fuse. You can't see it in the shot right now, but I did put a nice big. I found on one of the remixes a fused housing, so I can be able to have a fused, what's called fuse switch on the back. So it's a 10 amp switch, 10 amp fuse. No, this is not them, Keith. Let me look real quick because people are asking. Let me find that out. So let's go here, inbox. Didn't I? It's been a while. So let's do cooling plate. Nope, that's really old. Not seeing it here, actually. What was the name of the company? Go here to. Someone commented about it because they said they actually got scammed from the company using a credit card, I thought. So, um, I've got some comments I need to reply to here. Let's see here. Go back to one of the whole videos. Here we go. Oh, and that's not it. Bear build. Saw somebody also comment on my first video. It's 4 years old. It was pretty funny. Here we go. From it, that's not it. Second one, five. Close. Set up the videos then. Again, I use PayPal for everything, so I kind of feel that's better. Some BLV videos that. So here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. Man, that's it. I think that's it. Keith, I think you hit the head. Midwest Steel. I think that was it. Let me look at my email here right quick. Yes, Midwest Steel. That is who I bought it from. I cannot find the receipt though from them. Oh, they commented on a different video, I guess, because I brought it up. Yeah, it was from Midwest Steel. I use PayPal again, so that's why I end up doing that, just to kind of extra protect myself. That's soaked in pretty good. I mean, that bottom is toasty. Okay, yeah. So what I need to do now is I need to just let's get what's powered off. Let's get it disconnected now in the back so that we can move things around. Still need to figure out how I'm going to route the cables for the bed. I did print out some parts, I think, for doing the bed. I think they're in here. Some cable strain pieces. Set that up there because that ain't going nowhere. So I do need to move these out a little bit because they are too close to just make them all loose. We'll put the bed in and then make it. So again, so this is a 342 by 342 millimeter bed. What I did is I basically took the head, moved it to one side, and pushed it all the other side and saw what my maximum travel movement was. And then based off of that, I decided on how big of a bed I wanted to put on here. And again, it's not that much bigger, but it is a little bit bigger than stock. I mean, I'm getting 42 millimeters more on X and Y. So that's, nothing to scoff about there. 2.5 or 3.5? Oh, 3, not 3.5. Got to break out the Allen wrenches because I put the plexiglass on the back. This is mainly a placeholder. I'm going to be using a different material there eventually, but I needed to get the electronics mounted back here so they would be up out of the way and I could start my testing of things, because if you can't mount your electronics, you can't test anything. Okay, so those are all loose now. Now we can at least bring this in. Let's move the head back, I guess. This over here. And then cables out of the way. One there. Slide you over. You over. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to extend that, don't I? That was dumb of me. Very dumb of me. I completely forgot about that. So I had made two different approaches. One was to put the holes close in, and then one not to. So, Jake, what's up? I need to figure out how much longer I need to make these quarter brackets here. I need to cut myself a new piece of extrusion for the sides. I think I have scrap piece to use, I think. Okay. So right now, okay. Right now, from point to point, this is, well, I guess I can just measure the bed. What am I doing? 24 centimeters. And my new hole spacing is something I need to pull up in the drawing because that's more accurate. Here, let's go here. Okay. So let's go to the BLV. And then let's go to, I need to go to this drawing, not that one. This is the drawing that I sent the vendor to actually create the thing for me here. So, can we measure that in here? $290. Okay, so those are 290 millimeters apart, right? Just gonna get a quick guesstimate here. Yeah, it's about 290 apart. It's a little, actually, little. No, that's right. 290. Okay, so if that's 290, and original was, that's 50 millimeters more that I need. This piece of aluminum is 173, I think. Let's look at the BOM here. Here, just express BLV MGN cube. I believe it's 177. From Sealand, that was it. That's Sealand, the company. 173. Yep, 173. So 173 plus. I need to write this stuff down. I'm getting confused here. So it was 240 was the original OG, and then I said we are 290 on the new, and that piece is 173 millimeters. So that's 50. So we need to make that 223 millimeters. 223. Do I have some stock sitting around that I can make that from? Jake, it is an aluminum tooling plate. What it's actually made of, I don't actually know. To be honest, I don't know. Where do I have some extra? I don't know if I have any more black. That's gonna bum me out, but you're not gonna see this, so it's not too bad. But I do have. I threw away a lot of other extrusion, didn't I? Because I didn't need the little offcuts that I had sitting around. So I got rid of them. But I think I have 2 of these 300s that I can cut down. That is definitely not a tonight thing because it is 10:30 at night, and I will definitely wake some kids up if I fire up the chop saw. So that would be no bueno. And yeah, this will be the new piece to go in here, like that. How long is this? This is 300, right? 290 something. So if I have that, let's see what else I got sitting around the shop here. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, it's just 2040. Piece of black 2040. That'll make it a little more sturdy, but is it long enough? Highly doubt. Yeah, not at all. Man, that would actually be pretty good to make that a little bit thicker on the sides there. Give me a little bit more holding force there. Do I have any other 2040 stuck under here? Sorry, these noises are so loud. I have some regular. You're too short. Oh, this was the original parts from Master Crane when I originally drafted them up. I don't know if I need extra support on the bed. Could it hurt? But I know I got rid of the leftover pieces from the bear build. I know I threw those away because they were smaller offcuts. This is why you should save things. And my wife yells at me for saving things, and I tried to save things, and then I get yelled at, and then I throw them away. Not blaming her. Love the wife. But I would have that aluminum extrusion here if I didn't get nagged to throw it away. Man. We're tired. Cat knocked over. That's 2020, but that's for another project. I think I might have no choice but to go with the silver 2020. Don't think there's any down in the shop. I don't think. I mean, jank it up, man. Let me think. Let me check in here real quick. There's none. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's for the other project. That's 2020 though. What do we got down in here? Don't think I put any in here. This is where I keep my longer storage, extra GoPros, arms, tons and tons of heated beds in there. All the other random projects and printers that I've destroyed to make other printers out of. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to just go with some silver, and we'll need to cut it down. So what my math said was 223 is what that ended up being. So we can mark that, and I can cut and do that tomorrow. At least get the loud part done. That about come to right about there. Everybody else does this, but when I cut aluminum, I put a piece of blue tape on it, roughly where I need to make my cut at. And then I make an accurate measurement on it. And I only need to mark one because once I match up the butts of both of them, I can just do one cut and then they'll both be the same size. 3 there, cutting that side. Yeah, so just like, where are we at? Up here. Just like that. Oh, that's hard to see, but there's a line there and then X is on the other side. So now I just need to put both of these pieces in there together. I'll clamp them down, get them flush on the back, do one cut, take 2 minutes to get it done. Not even that, 2 seconds, I should say. Easy day, easy day. Yeah, I completely forgot about that part. I just got so excited and so focused on getting the bed here that I forgot that I need to cut down some aluminum to actually make this happen. Goes back under there. Oh, what else can we do here? Oh, let's see what else I know I'd printed other stuff. So let's clean up a smidge here because now I'm getting a little crowded on my table. This thing takes up literally takes up half the table, so lose a lot of space. So I will be able to use these on there, which would be good. And then I've got these spacers for the bottom. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 spacers for the top. Let's get the kit away before I dump this out as well. And let's see, what other parts in here did I print? I have the stuff for the filter. If I decide to put the filter in, I did get the little mini HEPA filters. Let me switch cameras here real quick. Let's go here. Zoom out a little bit. Go down here. Yeah, so I did get the charcoal and a couple of the little HEPA filters that they use. Oh, I could see how the LEDs look in the ring lights. Check that out. I already put a set in there. Put you over there. Yeah, here it is. So this is the heated bed table relief. Basically, you can do this 2 ways, but this can just go. I'll have to put it on the inside and then basically just loop the cable back and then down, I think. Because once I extend this out, it won't, that'll probably hit against the back. Maybe. 25 millimeters? How much space do I have there in my little... I always lose it. Because why wouldn't I lose it? There it is. This is my saving grace. This little wee ruler right here, this little thing is fantastic. But what space do we got there? Oh yeah, that'll still fit. So that'll be all right. So that'll be able to guide the cable and just keep that from getting any strain on it. So it's this piece and this was the alternate one I think I printed. I printed out 2 of them. Why did I print out 2 of them though? For now. It's been a little while since I printed these. And then here's the top for this one here. Yeah. I could use this one, or I could use this other one. It has a part in here somewhere. Here it is. Could use this little one here on the back. But I think I'll end up going with the other one just because of the placement of those. If I get it, if it's going to be on about there. Yeah, this one's not going to be an option. But this one, might be an option. Like this here. And then that just goes into it like that. Yeah, maybe that one. We'll see when the time comes, but at least I had printed out some cable strain stuff to have, again, to see what happens. Llama's here. What's up, man? Well, Indy, for me, I mean, this is the largest printer sitting in the room, so it has the largest build volume, takes up the largest amount of space, is the heaviest printer. Also, my room is absolutely tiny. So, yeah, so we've got the little RGB rings here. So these are the little diffusers that were made for, and these basically just mount in here. So I got to figure out how to actually wire these all up as well, because I don't really know. I think it's just the ground wire and data that I need. And the data out will go by tagging along to someplace else. Either way, yeah, and then they sit on here in these things, and then you have the diffuser that goes on top of there, and then it should show a decent light, I guess. Time will tell. But yeah, these are little NeoPixel rings that hopefully we'll figure it out. Ben, it is not. This is a 342 millimeter bed. It is the largest you can fit in this frame. Could make the frame bigger, but this thing's already big enough as it is. I mean, it literally just barely fits on my table. So there's that. This is the sleeving for the heated bed. So I will need to put that on there, just a little extra bit of protection. I have all of the NeoPixel housings done, ready to go. 1, 2, 3, and fourth one's installed. No, that's the old one. I ended up remixing the part as well because I didn't like the way that it was designed. This one, oh, this is one of the old ones. Because he had it so like this was one piece like this, and it's threaded, and you have to like thread another piece into it. And I gotta say, it is doggone near impossible to do that. Like I could not get it to work well. So I decided to remix and design my own part for it. But, oh, that's my part in there. I just have it with the other piece. Yeah, so then instead of this being the back plate, the center plug that screws into the clear piece, I just put these two together, and then that's the second piece. So it's much easier to print now. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I have all the cabling I need for the LEDs. I do also need to print the RGB LEDs that go up along the sides here. So there's a set that goes on this side and a set that goes over on that side. And those are angled downward with diffusers so that you can either do color or I can just have some nice light come in. I do have all the RGB LEDs for that. And again, all the cabling is here. This is 5-pin. This is 3-pin. I think I need the 5-pin for the NeoPixels and the 3-pin just for the RGBs up top. There is I think I need to use an Arduino to use it with the SKR. I have not figured that out yet. Gonna get figuring it out, but I'll get there eventually. I don't think I have anything else in here that's needed right now. I think that's about it then. NeoPixels in there so I don't lose them. Filter material back in there as well. The switch came with some big old leads, which I didn't end up using. I might, because they are a little bit heavier gauge than what I'm using. I actually normally just get a power cable, strip down the outside and just use that, because that is, I think that's 18 gauge. This is 16? This is 14 gauge. So I think that's 16. This is 14 gauge. So a little bit thicker stuff. Might be a little bit better suited to use for the mains power. This is the cabling for that original bed. I mean, it's hefty. I mean, look how big that is. So the blue and white are the thermistor, the black's positive, red, the blue's negative, brown, yeah, black's negative, red is positive. But yeah, I mean, it's hefty wire. I'm definitely going to save it because, I mean, again, the bed's dead, but I am a hoarder. And you never know when you could use some decent, I'm pretty sure this stuff is 16 gauge. 300 volts. Yeah, this is 16 gauge. But this is definitely stuff to keep a hold of, add it to my random wire pile, and go from there. I do need to also finish up, again, so the layout of the back. Let me see if I can spin this around and give you guys a brief tour of the back and how that's looking. And then once I figure out how I'm going to do the panels. So let's see if I can do this without dropping it. It already has my new feet on there. I custom designed some feet for it. Oh, the mic's getting stuck. Okay. Oh, I'm dropping some of the spacers. Don't do that. Don't lose those. Okay. So let me bring in here a little bit. Okay. So now you can see here is my fused switch. And then cable comes out here into the power supply. Again, this is just a very thin, what's 1/8 inch plexi. I have much thicker, durable stuff I'm going to be using. So power supply then feeds two different feeds. One set is coming here into the SKR 1.3. Another set of leads are coming here to the step down converter, which is powering my hot end fan and this cooling fan here. So this is a 12-volt cooling fan, and I have a much quieter, more efficient sun on fan on the hot end. I'm pointing to it, you can't see it, but you get my drift. So that is up there on the hot end, and then the blower fan is 24 volt because that's directly connected to right here. This is the part cooling fan, 24 volt directly onto the board. This is my hot end. Again, the heated bed will come into here. Once I get there, thermistor will go up there. I still need to print one more of these trays. Whoop, let's go out a little bit. Too much. There we go. So these trays up here are kind of make this into an air chamber. So there'll be a panel on this side, panel over there. This panel will go fully across. Right now, let's see, it's short. It's right here to right here. It will go fully across, and then there'll be a back panel on here as well. So that will be the this will be the air chamber, and there'll be another set of things down here just to ensure nothing can get up into the electronics enclosure, nothing can get down into the electronics enclosure because there's these printed parts right there. So that will completely seal this off. I do want to turn my motors though, just so that I can have the cables running down and in. Right now they're running this way, and as you can see, it kind of gets in the way because the trays go underneath of them. This was a remix part here. So this up here is actually all of this is where the cable chain comes in here. So this is the hot end, all the cooling, everything like that, all come right into here. And there's a little electricity symbol on the front, which is kind of funny. It's a dual print part. And then this is the part that comes with it to hold it down. And then I remixed and made my own back plate here for my pancake stepper, which also holds the cable chain. Because there was no real easy way to hold that on the hot end, but so that's what it is. All that comes down. So this is the only access down into this space once all this gets sorted out. So I'm excited for having all the electronics enclosed and out of the way. Here's a spool holder that I remixed. This is actually one of the ones that's similar to the Bear spool holder. So it just uses two 608ZZ bearings on there, and I had to shrink this down to be one size in particular, and then I had to make sure that this face is not outside of here because there's going to be a panel coming on here, and this spool holder has to be inside of that. I've seen people do two things. One, they've cut a hole here in the panel so they can put the spool in and out, a little bit oversized so they can slip it in. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might even just kind of cast out a big section here to make it easier to fill, because right here is my reverse Bowden tube. So I printed out a reverse Bowden tube piece that goes here, which connects to the blue Bowden. It's direct drive with the BMG directly on top, but I wanted to have a reverse Bowden tube, make it easier to manage the filament. So that comes up into here. So the filament just goes right up that way. Let me grab a spool. There's a spool here. So the filament can just basically slide right onto there, and then it's directly in line with that. Well, that's got a nasty top on it. In line straight up into there, and it's a perfect line right into it. So I had to space out. So I just need to make sure that I get this spacing right on the new one as well. So when it's a full spool, it just comes straight up, and it's because it'll be right about like there. I wanted to keep that really in line as best I could. Yeah, and then this is the coupler for the inductive sensor. So you have to have a steel plate, which I do have, in order for that to trigger. So that's good. That's all connected here to the end stop. LCD cables are super long, go all the way down. I need to figure out a way to manage these cables a little bit better. I haven't really done any cable management or figuring out yet. I had to extend the 5-pin ribbon cable as well, as long as these two. These are 1 meter long ones. They're really long, but again, I just need to figure out a way to better manage those. I can move the SKR, but right now, as you can see, my extruder just reaches. I need to extend that cable. But yeah, I mean, it's so far I'm happy. Oh, these are also the motors that comes in are made for a Duet. So I had to make my own jumpers for all of them because the Duet connectors don't fit into an SKR 1.3. And I didn't feel like cutting the cable, so I cut down a few old stepper driver cables and then just did that for all of the motors like that. But yeah, so there's another 12-volt step down here. This is the one that's actually for this fan here because this is always on. This one controls the, it's giving power to the optocoupler and it's giving power to the hot end fan, which is, again, on when it needs to be. So yeah, I think this is close to how I want it kind of sorted. I may actually take the power supply and just twist it 90 degrees and have it go a long ways down here. But again, I really don't know. I kept my cables connecting that very long because I'm not sure the final orientation of all the electronics. I've been looking online what other people have done. This is pretty universal what a lot of people have done, but there's still a whole lot more going on here, and I'm just not sure what I want to do on my final installment. I have the side panels. I'm going to get to that eventually. I'm still not really set on what I want to do. I'm kind of torn to just take this whole thing apart and do blind joints, which has kind of become the thing. And I saw Ben actually just did a video on it just last week, I think it was. I'm like I've been talking to people about it. That's what the Volron does. And I was like, man, that would have been cool to do for this, but I just didn't do it. And I don't know if I'm going to go back and do it because that is a ton of work to take off everything, basically, rip the entire printer apart, rebuild the entire thing, re-drill, tap, and do everything. I don't know if I have that in me because this took so long to get together as it is. But I'm happy with it either way. I just have to figure out how I want to put on the side panels, whether I want to keep these corner brackets or get rid of them. If I keep them, I have to make my cutouts in the material to exactly fit along here. And I'm not 100% sure of my skills to make sure that that is done correctly. Yeah. So I'm sorry I couldn't get the bed installed today. I really, really wanted to. But at least you guys can see where it's at right now. It does work on, I mean, I've done sample prints on it. I think you guys have seen them before. They're not half bad. I mean, there's a benchy from it with it's a 0.6 millimeter nozzle, 0.4 millimeter layer height. This is just a transition spool that I was using for it. It actually prints really well. I was getting variation though because of the heated bed issue because I screwed that up. So I just have to make sure that I get everything dialed in. Once the new bed is on and everything's stabilized and working, then I can finish the dial-in process, the E-steps and everything like that, which I think pretty close to all that, but just need to do it. Um, Benefits of the blind joints. Blind joints are, I don't know if they're necessarily stronger, but it's a lot cleaner because right now the BLV uses, I think it comes with 100 corner brackets and you use, I believe, 85 of them. So there's like 85 corner brackets on this thing. Plus there's like 14 of these outside corner brackets. Um, so stronger. Yeah. So people are saying stronger. Again, I don't know, but again, just taking this whole thing apart, measuring out all of that to do it, I don't know if I have it in me. Because this took forever to build. We did this live. It took absolutely forever. Um, yeah, it took absolutely forever to do as it is right now. So I don't think I'll be doing that now. I think maybe down the road, maybe once I move and I get this back, and maybe that will be a time to, okay, I need a project to do. Let's rip this whole mother apart and do that. I don't know. But right now is definitely not the time for that because I want to get this finished and working and ready to ship whenever I move next year. And I want this project to just kind of be done with. And we can muck with it later next year, next fall, once I actually get moving. But I'm really happy with how it all panned out. It's square. I can't really ask for more than that. The kit from Sealand is actually a good kit. There are parts that I don't like about it, but for the overall, for the price I paid for it, again, you get what you pay for. So some parts are just good enough. This is a big project. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like this is definitely the largest endeavor I have taken in 3D printing. Has challenged me, which I'm very, very happy with. I'm grateful for that it did challenge me in 3D printing. It's still not done yet, but I am looking forward to printing out some super big, awesome things with this once we get there. Yeah, the corner brackets come with the kit, which is the reason also why I use them. I didn't purchase them separately. Again, it came with the Sunland kit and all that. So I just think I think I'm gonna call it there for tonight. Again, I'm super stoked. So stoked to get working on this again. I'm gonna leave it just like this because I think working from right here tomorrow will be easier. Whenever I need to disassemble those bed parts, and which is just 2 bolts on each side to pull that out. I can just undo those 2 bolts, 3 bolts, I guess, and then lift the bed out, put the new side on, put it back in there, center it, and then that's really it. Then I think we're gonna do some more dialing in. I think maybe Friday might be more of this, dialing it in, doing some test prints or showing off some test prints that I did on during this week. I only got 3 days because today Tuesday is over now. Yeah, and then maybe take a look at some of the NeoPixel stuff. I don't know if I'll be doing that stuff live, just because, whoops, I'm not sure I'll be able to figure that out live. But there's places for all the buttons. But I definitely have some printing to do this week. I'm gonna get the diffusers printed for the LEDs, get the bed sorted out. Maybe get the LEDs wired, or we can wire those live on Friday and kind of can see what to do with that. See what are the comments here. It's on the 500 cube. Hang on, my wife is texting me. A Voron was on the table to build, but I just wasn't really up for that. Yeah, Christoph, I know we were just talking about the blind joints. Again, he posted that 3 months too late. I only had learned about blind joints a little while ago. Actually, we talked on my Discord about people actually doing this with blind joints already. And then Ben just put out the video last week about doing blind joints. So I will need to check out his new videos and see anything he's changed in it. But I've also made a ton of changes from his design. So, that's kind of going on there. Trying to wrap up. Got a couple more questions here. How much to spend? So all in all, I think it's right around 1,000. So the kit itself was for, let's go up here and look. So it's $498 plus $120 shipping because it's a lot. It's very heavy. So that's $630, and then plus I ordered a bunch of other random bits and bobs for us. I'd say it's sub $1,000 in order to get this. Well, plus the fully custom heated bed and all that did bring it up a little bit, but you're just sub $1,000 for this build for the most part. Yeah, all right, at that, I'm going to call it there because I am getting tired tonight and I really don't have anything else I can do on this except answer questions. I need to get working on this. I'm going to get some things pulled apart tonight and we'll get ready and do some work tomorrow. When I come back Friday night, if you guys will join me in, I'll have the bed done, maybe have some of the other parts printed, and we can get some wiring done with some LEDs and some switches, which I'm hoping I was able to identify the 12-volt switches that I need for this. We need to put another buck connector in here. Or actually, I might be able to run it off of this one for all of the LEDs. Since those are 12-volt, need to have a down converter for that, and I have plenty of those to use as well. So thank you guys for joining in. This has been super fun. I'm glad we got the bed going. A little bit more work needs done, and then we're going to get to the aesthetic part of the build, and then we can call that complete. So thank you all for joining in. Hope you join me Friday night for more of the BLV MGN Cube build. If you want to check anything out, I'll put links for a bunch of stuff down below where I got the bed, things like that. All that will be linked down there if you want to check out any of those vendors. Remember, using those links does give a little back for me to build things like this. This is mostly patron funded. If you guys want to join the Patreon squad or do any other type of donations, all the links are down there below, but the patrons really are funding all of my projects now, are 100% from them. I use their money directly to just build and create cool things. So I thank you, all of them. And Aaron, the other guys that decided to send me stuff, you guys are cool too. Jesse with the bed, Aaron with the new tools. Love it. Thank you all for all of that. Remember, guys, wash your hands. Happy printing. I'll see y'all Friday night.